the strangest morning the world has ever seen. Three of the most terrifying armies in history suddenly find themselves in the very heart of modern Washington, D.C., right in front of the White House. 20,000 Roman legionaries, 30,000 Mongol horse archers, and Napoleon's Grand Army of 20,000 soldiers. A total of 75,000 troops. Their goal is very clear: capture the White House and take the President of the United States. But nobody realizes what is happening yet. It is 8 in the morning. Washington, D.C. is waking up like any other day. Tourists on Pennsylvania Avenue are taking photos. Office workers are walking by while sipping their coffee, and a few joggers are running past. The area around the White House looks like a normal Tuesday morning. Then suddenly, Pennsylvania Avenue and the streets around it begin to overflow with a massive army made up of hundreds, thousands, and then tens of thousands of soldiers. They look like they just stepped straight out of history books. On the western side, there is a Roman army of nearly 20,000 men. Legionaries in red cloaks move forward in disciplined lines with their shields and spears. Ballistae are being prepared as warriors pull back the tension arms. Heavy stones are being carried for the giant onagers, ready to be launched. On the northern side, there are the Mongols, 30,000 warriors, mounted cavalry in front, archers armed with composite bows behind them. Genghis Khan leads his army on horseback. On the eastern side, there is Napoleon's Grand Army, 20,000 soldiers, organized infantry lines, light cavalry units, and most importantly, dozens of cannons. Napoleon stands with one hand inside his coat, raising his telescope with the other as he studies the White House. Unlike the other two commanders, he understands this era a little better. He sees the electrical wires. He sees the glass structure of the buildings. He notices people carrying weapons similar to his soldiers' rifles, but far more advanced. He evaluates all of it. All three armies begin moving at the same time. This is not a coincidence. All three commanders know what they need to do because they have spent their lives on battlefields. Napoleon positions his cannons around the eastern and western sides of the White House, and firing angles are calculated. Roman legionaries form up and begin marching toward the main gate, while ballistae and onagers take position in the rear. A group of Mongol archers quickly climbs to higher points, reaching the rooftops of nearby buildings. The rest stand in a straight line, bows ready, staring directly at the White House. These three commanders have never been together before, but they move as if they understand each other's language, because all three of them know the same language: war. The White House security team watches the cameras, trying to understand what is going on. Even the police officers patrolling the area at that moment think it might be some kind of event, and nobody takes it seriously. But when the armies begin forming up and surrounding the White House, everything changes. The agents patrolling around the building notice the first group, pull back, and immediately call for backup. At first, the agents warn the army through megaphones. They tell the crowd to disperse and move away from the area. But an army of 75,000 soldiers does not care about a megaphone. How many active Secret Service agents are on the ground at that moment? Around 300 to 400. No matter how brave they are, in that moment, they are shaking with fear. The three commanders come together side by side, make their decision with total confidence, and return to the heads of their armies. The attack begins. The Mongol archers fire the first shot. 1,000 bows are drawn and released at the same time. Arrows rain down from the sky. They hit the roof, the window edges, and the outer guard posts. The snipers on the roof can no longer raise their heads for more than a second, and they are forced to take cover behind walls and protective panels. The agents on the outer side of the mansion immediately run inside or into the guard booths. The emergency alarm goes off. The White House agents hide inside the building until help arrives, aiming outside through the windows. At that exact moment, an onager is being prepared on the Roman side. A massive stone is launched. The giant rock crashes into the outer wall of the White House. The building was not designed for this kind of impact. Ballista bolts strike the steel doors and entry points. Napoleon's cannons target the outer steel fences. A 19th century cannon cannot be compared to a modern tank, but at effective firing range, an iron cannonball tears apart anything standing in front of it. After the first cannon shots, several sections of the outer fence collapse, and the defenders are forced to change positions. The agents hiding in the outside guard booth also run back inside after the cannon fire. Inside the White House, everyone is on edge. The most critical decision is made. The president must be evacuated immediately. The rotors of Marine One begin to spin. The helicopter is being prepared. The president will be taken out of there and moved to a secure location. But Napoleon sees this and understands it. This flying thing is an escape vehicle. He signals the Mongol archers, and at the same time, a Roman ballista blocks the takeoff route. While a rain of arrows surrounds the helicopter, a ballista bolt hits the body. Then the incoming cannon rounds make the helicopter unable to fly. The evacuation plan is canceled, and the president goes back inside. The agents immediately move him to the presidential bunker on the lowest level of the White House. The steel doors close. Inside the bunker, the president tries to understand what is happening outside by watching the screens. His aides are on the phones, trying to reach the American military. Outside, the situation changes very quickly. Roman legionaries move forward in testudo formation. They advance toward the White House. The soldiers lock their shields to the sides, front and above them, creating something like a walking steel box. Agents inside fire automatic rifles at the Roman warriors. Every time one warrior falls, another soldier from the rear line immediately takes his place, and the formation does not break. Only 8 minutes have passed since the battle began. Help still has not arrived. A few police vehicles have shown up, but because they can do nothing against the arrow rain and Napoleon's huge number of soldiers, they take positions farther back and begin clearing the roads. The Roman legionaries bring a battering ram to break the outer iron gate, which has already been damaged by Napoleon's cannon fire. After a few hits from the battering ram, Napoleon's cannons target the same point again, and on the third shot, the main outer gate collapses. Brave legionaries rush inside, but the agents inside are basically burning through all their ammunition. They use every round they have to keep the warriors from entering the White House. Napoleon launches an attack against the glass and the windows. There are so many of them that the agents inside no longer know which window, which side, or which direction they should defend. Only 4 minutes after the outer gate breaks, the first warriors enter the White House, even though they suffer hundreds of losses while entering. The ones who make it inside, especially Napoleon's soldiers, take down the agents and take many of them hostage. Now they are inside. Napoleon sees modern rifles in one room, immediately gathers them, and hands them out to his soldiers. It does not take them very long to learn how to use them. Genghis Khan climbs to the roof and takes control of the surrounding area. The Roman legionaries move from door to door, room to room, and finally they reach the steel door of the bunker on the lowest level. A battering ram is brought in. They hit it and hit it and hit it again. But nothing happens. Napoleon arrives and personally examines it. Even a cannon cannot open this door. He says they need to think of another way. For now, the president is safe, but the White House is now under their control. So what is modern America doing? Apache helicopters have taken off from Joint Base Andrews. M1 Abrams tanks are moving toward Pennsylvania Avenue. Delta Force and Navy SEAL units are positioning themselves in the surrounding buildings. But there is one massive problem. The White House cannot be destroyed. The president is in the bunker directly under the building. If any section of the building collapses, it could harm him. This operation is extremely delicate, and America's top commanders have to make an urgent decision. Drones enter the scene first, scanning the area around the White House and marking targets. Finally, Apache helicopters arrive on the scene. Their first move is to target Napoleon's remaining cannons. Hellfire missiles hit with precision. The cannons explode. Napoleon's soldiers have never heard a sound or seen an explosion like this in their lives. The Roman warriors immediately try to prepare their onagers and ballistae. Meanwhile, Mongol archers try to shoot down the Apache, but it is useless. The arrows do not even reach the Apache. The helicopter takes them out with automatic fire. Military units slowly begin clearing the roads to reach the White House. From inside, the president is giving orders over the phones. He wants soldiers to enter immediately and rescue him. While watching everything happen on the bunker screens, he is shaking with fear. The Apache destroys hundreds of Roman legionaries standing in formation with a single Hellfire missile. The sounds of explosions, the roar of rockets, and the Apache rotors completely drive the Mongol horses insane. Thousands of horses lose control at the same time, crashing into each other, throwing their riders to the ground, and flooding into the crowd. A Mongol warrior who falls from his horse is either crushed by their own horses or becomes a target for gunfire. Armored vehicles clear the outer perimeter. M2 Browning machine guns open fire on the Testudo groups. The legionaries line up their shields to protect themselves, but those shields mean nothing against a half-inch .50 caliber round. The courage of the legionaries is incredible. They do not run. They hold their ground until death. That is the core of their training. But courage does not win this battle. Napoleon's soldiers around the building are trapped in the same kind of helplessness. Loading and firing their muskets takes 20 to 30 seconds, and a musket ball can neither reach a helicopter nor damage an armored vehicle. But Napoleon adapts instantly. He distributes every modern rifle they found inside to his soldiers. He does not want anyone to be allowed into the building. He sends his smartest men to find a way to open the steel bunker door. The snipers positioned outside have a clear job. Anyone they see through the building's windows goes down. They want to leave as few enemies inside the building as possible. Outside the building, Apaches circle to stop anyone else from entering, while armored vehicles and infantry units clear the road leading to the White House. And now it is Delta Force's turn. The drones have mapped out a suitable route for them. Delta Force approaches the North Portico in a Bearcat armored vehicle. The vehicle drives over the fallen outer gate of the White House and enters the grounds. But the soldiers do not get out. First, drones throw smoke bombs through all the windows. The warriors inside do not understand what is happening. The entire building is basically swallowed by smoke. Those who cannot breathe and run outside become targets for snipers and soldiers holding positions outside. After a while, when nobody else comes out, Delta Force enters with gas masks. In the first corridor, a group of legionaries is waiting. They hold their spears and raise their shields. They have no fear, but it is useless. All of them are taken down by crossfire. Many of the warriors have escaped the smoke by running down to the bunker level. Delta Force notices this. First, a grenade is thrown downstairs. Then a flashbang is thrown, and the warriors below are quickly overwhelmed. The White House is taken back. And finally, they reach the bunker door. The security code is entered. The door opens. The president is safe. The president is immediately evacuated from the area in an armored vehicle. Once the president reaches a secure zone, the White House no longer matters. Tanks and F-35s destroy the remaining enemies. The operation is complete. The legendary armies of history won the first few minutes. They captured the White House, but they did not have the technology or the time to open the bunker. In the end, the White House is taken back. For more what-if scenarios like this, you can click the playlist on the screen. Do not forget to like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel. I will see you in the next video.